Hello, Mark Crossfield here. Ping matchup. G30 driver against Ping i25. Let's give the racing stripes a hit up against the turbulators. We got GC2 on the floor. Tightness Pro V1X balls. We're going to give you the real ball data as well. It's not going to be an in-depth look at the two drivers. I've done reviews on these two drivers. Check them out. It's going to be a bit of a quick compare to give you an idea of which one might suit your game a little better, if any. Racing stripes returbulation. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, quick overview. Ping i25, you get the racing stripes on top. This is arguably the slightly lower spinning model from Ping. You get the changeable neck on there as well. Lovely matte black finish on the i25. Then you go G30, a bit more blue in its colorway. You get the turbulators on top. They're going to help with wind flow over the top of the club as it comes in and hit the ball, trying to help people who swing the ball or the club fast to pick up a little bit more club head speed, because that's the only way you're going to get any more distance. It's got a changeable neck on it also as well. I think this one offers a little bit more variation in the loft than i25. Don't quote me, I think it's like a fraction more. Both of these drivers are featuring high MOIs, maybe G30 with the highest out of all of them. Similar head shapes. Definitely the G30 has been squished down a bit more to give it maybe a bigger footprint as it pulls back at the back of the club more than i25. i25 aimed in theory at your better player who likes the more compact shape, if you like, but still wants 460 heads, where G30 is aimed at maybe the more game improvement in theory, but then Bubba Watson uses G30 along with others. So this is why we're comparing these two. They, in their marketing, and us who make these videos, kind of say they're aimed at X, Y and Z, but you're all individuals. You need to go out there and do what Ping instigated better than anyone else, which is get a custom fit and go and test them yourself. Let's give them a hit and see how they compare. Let's start with G30. Let's have a bit of turbulation. Like I say, we're going to present some real numbers at the end. I'm just going to give them a quick hit to show you what I feel when I look down and what I feel off face as I hit them. Now, turbulators on top, I like them a lot now. I didn't like them when I first saw them. They've really grown on me, not literally. And they really frame the ball up nicely, the way they kind of both all cave in towards the ball there. The matte black finish to the black faced blue shaft is just, it looks great. Let's give it a hit. It makes a nice big sound off the face. It's definitely going to make lots of golfers feel like they're really giving it a good old whack. It's not hiding any noise, I don't think. It's trying to be quite big and bolshy with its noise, which I don't mind, and I think lots of golfers actually like. I love the footprint size of this club. When you give it to people, they just feel confident as they can with any driver out there on the market. Let's give it another hit. Hit that one really nicely. Feels very stable, and I don't know if it just feels stable because I've read the marketing and I kind of know it is, and then it makes me think it is, but it just feels off-centre hits with this club are going to perform better maybe than some others out there. So let's try i25, and I've gamed this driver. I used it when I went to America at the start of the year. It gives me good numbers as a general rule. I love racing stripes. They really let you kind of aim and point, and you can almost visualise them coming through, which I really like. So turbulators frame, but the racing stripes really do allow you to feel like you're lining up. Let's give it a hit. It's a nice little head size. I think this will appeal to people who want that kind of smaller looking head. So it's very neutral down by the ball. Let's give it a hit. Makes a very similar sound. I think maybe a fraction higher pitched in G30, but not much in it, to be honest. They do play with the acoustics of these clubs. Every company tends to, because it does mean so much into what you're feeling, the sound of the club. Because impact is such a small time, you actually don't feel as much as you all believe you feel. Let's give it another hit. Just, yeah, racing stripes are the big thing for me on this one. They're just so easy to line up. Hit that really good. Wind's just moving it a bit to the right, but hit that nicely. Let's look at the numbers then. I mean, I'll be interested to see how these two perform. I can't believe they're going to be that dissimilar. I think if I had to choose between these two, I would go, I like turbulators. I'm enjoying the Freewood in this club. I like the size of the head, and that just extra bit of stability wouldn't do any harm at all, but it would be so close because I do love the racing stripes as well. But let's check these numbers out and see if anything in the numbers would make me choose one over the other. Let's check them out. Right guys, 3 shots of each. I've got the averages here in front of you of the 3 shots, so the orange to the greens. They're totaling exactly the same, 282. G30 is carrying 3 yards further than i25 on this test, launching almost 0.5 of a degree higher. The biggest difference is in the spin, isn't it? The 2.4 average spin on G30 and coming down to the 1.8 average spin in the i25, and I think it kind of shows you. So I mean, really, to be honest with you guys, those clubs are performing the same. So even though they have different spin models, you can see the grouping on them is almost identical. The G30, I reckon I hit slightly better, which is why they're slightly tighter. It doesn't matter how you get from A to B, as long as you get from A to B. If my goal was to hit 282 yards, I've achieved it with both of those clubs. I've done it with a fractionally different flight, which you can even see from the side-on streams there. So I'm rolling out a little bit more to my 282 rather than G30 is carrying only by 3 yards though. If you could measure, I mean, if you put them on a robot, I reckon it's going to be very similar or very slim, the difference in them. Just imagine you're a golfer who suffers from a high spin. Because of the way I deliver the club quite well for drivers, which is why when I test them, you'll see they all come out very similar, because I have very kind of good delivery numbers with the driver. They're very neutral in lots of ways, and they're kind of optimum for getting the most out of the swing speed I've got. If you were someone who suffered from a lot of high speed in a driver, you would see how if both of those numbers went up, say 1,000 revs, then G30 might just spin a little bit too much for those people, and they don't want to change their technique because maybe they're good golfers or they're just recreation, and so what they would do is maybe go for the lower spinning one, possibly, subject to the other numbers. You see what I mean? So these companies are making lots of models, but they're very, very close. They're not massive differences. You could hit any of those two, and I don't think you would really notice the difference in your scores over a season particularly. You wouldn't be able to pinpoint it. But what you might find is just in certain conditions and on certain carries, one just sneaks it a bit better than another, which is why you need to go and get tested yourself, go and see what numbers you get, see which kind of spin numbers and what have you and distances you get out of each club. For me, they're very identical. I think I would choose G30. I'm liking turbulation. I'm loving it in my Freewood. I like that slightly higher pitch thing, and I think the main thing from G30 turbulation is just something to try and feed you, all you guys and girls, your kind of distance that you seem to really want to buy into at the minute. So they're kind of feeding you a bit with that. I think it's the stability of that club which will help so many golfers. Why would you not use the most stable driver that is on the market for you if you don't hit that middle of the club that often, which for most amateur golfers is the case. Thanks for watching, guys. Interesting one. Post comments down below. Love to hear. They're very close drivers. I'm sure lots of you expecting that. Some of you might have thought there should have been much bigger differences in there. Slightly different flight models, but very different or very similar end result. So at the end of the result is all that actually matters. Post comments. Speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching. Hello, Mark Crossfield here. Ping matchup. G30 driver against Ping i25. Let's give the racing stripes a hit up against the turbulators. We got GC2 on the floor. Tightness Pro V1X balls. We're going to give you the real ball data as well. It's not going to be an in-depth look at the two drivers. I've done reviews on these two drivers. Check them out. It's going to be a bit of a quick compare to give you an idea of which one might suit your game a little better, if any. Racing stripes, turbulation. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, quick overview. Ping i25, you get the racing stripes on top. This is arguably the slightly lower spinning model from Ping. You get the changeable neck on there as well. Lovely matte black finish on the i25. Then you go G30, a bit more blue in its colorway. You get the turbulators on top. They're going to help with wind flow over the top of the